It is June the 30th, 2025. I am at Joel Pearl. It's time to get in the weeds. A marvelous Monday. The clouds are low, but there is no snow because it's summer. So instead, there might be rain later on. Jeremy Lambert is here after a wonderful, not so busy weekend where nothing happened and nobody missed a thing. How you doing, pal?
Nobody missed a thing.
Yeah. Like Aerosmith.
Oh, okay. I thought, all right. That makes a little bit more sense. Okay.
Get a little, don't want to miss a thing. You ever watch the 1999? What?
Why was Aerosmith like country there?
Everything turns into country. Don't you know that?
Yeah, I don't know about that. I listened to a lot of country music this weekend.
That sounds awful.
Can only deal with so much pickup trucks and pickup trucks, let me tell you.
Was this like all casino country music? Like, what's going on here?
No. We went to the Texas Roadhouse for dinner on Friday night, so all they play is country music. My mom drove everywhere. All she plays is country music. We hung out with people on Saturday, and all they played is country music. So a lot of country. I didn't understand most of it. I was trying my best not to pay attention to it. They played a little bit of Carrie Underwood. I can deal with that, even though she's now a terrible person. Her music is still halfway decent. But all these other artists, I don't know who they are, and they just sing about pickup trucks.
That sounds awful. Rob Reed saying there's actually a country version of I Don't Want to Miss a Thing, which doesn't surprise me, and I'm pretty sure I may have heard it at one point. But you said you went to a Texas Roadhouse. Did you leave your laptop on the roof of the car accidentally?
No, I didn't bring my laptop with me to the Texas Roadhouse. Sorry to disappoint Chris Jericho, but no, I didn't leave anything important at the Texas Roadhouse.
Big news, he's going to be a free agent at the end of the year if you didn't hear already.
It's terrible news, apparently, or huge news. Maybe huge. Terrible news? I don't know.
Well, it depends what you feel about Christopher Jericho. Yeah, you see, Carrie Underwood turned heel when Mike Fisher was traded from the Ottawa Senators to the Nashville Predators.
Is that? I mean,
it was so long ago. That was so long ago.
Mike Fisher hasn't even played for like 10 years, I feel like. How long has Mike Fisher been out of the league? It's been a while.
I don't think it's been that long, has it?
Let's look this up. Hold on, I got it. Mike Fisher hasn't played in forever, dude. Yeah, 2018. That's a while.
That's pre-pandemic. Jesus.
Yeah, he only played 16 games that season. So are we really counting that? So 2017 was his last like meaningful season. So yeah, I knew he's been out of the league for a bit. I have not heard that name forever. He was a good little player when he played. He was good in Ottawa and Nashville.
Brought the Sens to a Stanley Cup final in 2007.
He was.
And promptly said GTFO.
I like Mike Fisher. Yeah, he's married to Carrie Underwood.
Yep, stranger
That's
things.
That's not how she turned heel, though. Like,
you can look it up.
Yeah, you can look up why Carrie Underwood is no longer considered
perfect for a lot of the country community. But anyway, I digress. Yeah, that sounds like you had a pretty good non-wrestling weekend. It was nothing but country music. Sounds like somebody's dream.
Way too much country music. I had fun though. Seeing my mom, seeing some friends that I haven't seen in a long time. Played some cornhole, undefeated in cornhole. So I got that going for me.
You really know how to get in the hole, huh?
Yeah, I got a little carried, honestly. I played okay, but my partners carried me.
Good for them. I'm glad that the partners really held you good, held you up.
Sure, something like that.
Something like that. Anyway, that sounds like a good time. My weekend was mostly not watching wrestling until I absolutely had to. Okay. Friday was hilarious. Friday, I couldn't watch it if I wanted to.
Yeah, I tried to watch on Friday, and then Netflix was like, here's this same ad for 30 minutes.
So at that point, I got one of those in the arena feeds from somebody, and like someone who was in the crowd, right? Not someone who worked in the company because everything was down. So yeah, someone who had their phone out, and like I had to listen to that thing on mute because the guy who was commenting into the camera was like, Cody Rhodes is going to turn heel on, tomorrow night, brothers. And I'm like, please shut up. Stop.
He was having a good time. Let
He
him
was.
be.
I was like, please stop. But they were having fun. They were singing along with Randy's music and with Cody's music, and it looks like they were having a good time. But yeah, that 30-minute delay, got to look at it, and I was like, man, I feel bad for the people who are just kind of waiting around the arena, and they're trying to do something, keep them up and keep them, excited for the show and the energy going. It's 30 minutes of a lot of standing around doing nothing, and the people who are actually sitting in the crowd, who are like sitting in the bleachers, like they got nothing to do. The wrestlers aren't coming up there. They're not doing anything for them. It's just they're going to the front rows and going to interact and hope that it carries all the way to the back. It is what it is.
Yeah, they brought out Orton to yeet and Cody to do a bunch of stuff, and then they brought out Carmelo to get beat up by Cody. That's all the stuff that everybody missed.
Yeah, when I saw Mello come out, and so Cody comes out and he starts talking, and then the screens come on, and I'm like, oh, okay, they're going to go live. And then I went to go check the rundown, and I was like, wait, Mello's nowhere on this rundown. Why is he coming out right now? And then I realized, oh, they're still trying to get things set up. And he comes out in his street clothes, right? He's wearing shorts and a hoodie, whatever. He's dressed up. He's not wearing his usual on-camera stuff. And he goes down, and they do a little promo. He does, hits Cody. Cody hits a Crossroads, and then that's it. That's the segment. It was literally just something for the crowd to keep them going, because they couldn't just have Randy run around yeeting and singing his song and stuff. It was very strange. Could have. It is what it is, man. But yeah, I didn't get to watch SmackDown live on Friday, because also I just decided at that point, I'm like, I'm not waiting 30 minutes for this. Then I went for a walk, and what was it? Saturday was a busy day, and Sunday I went to the aquarium, because that's what we do now. We just go to the aquarium. We can go look at the fish. But my kid just wants to go and like play in the playground at the aquarium. So I just had to stand around and pretend like I need to supervise my kid. But it was crazy busy there yesterday, which was, it's usually pretty busy because, for those who don't know, the aquarium is next to the ballpark. It's next to where the Jays play. Jays aren't playing this weekend, but usually when they do play, people come in the mornings to the aquarium. Then they either go to the CN Tower, which is literally right next door, and then they go to the Jays game if they have kids, and they have a lot of money apparently, because that's a ridiculous amount of money to spend on all that. Instead, because it's Canada Day weekend, they were doing like cheap tickets, like under $20, including like kids were in for free, but it was like 1867, because that's when Canada was when Confederation came to play, and Canada Day weekends this weekend. So they were doing like a bunch of tickets for super duper cheap, and as a result, the first thing in the morning, because it's first come first serve, it's packed, and it sucked. So many people in that stupid aquarium. It's awful. But we had a fine time. Didn't have to watch wrestling until the nighttime, when I got to peruse through it and get it through my brain as to what happened and the important stuff. And yeah, it was what it was. But it was a pretty busy weekend. We're off again tomorrow, because tomorrow is Canada Day. So all the places are closed, all the schools and daycare. Well, there's no schools, but the daycares are closed. So we're here.
All right.
And it's my day off. Weekend. And it's my day off tomorrow. So
are you? Oh, I was to say, are you gonna be on the show tomorrow?
Doubtful. I think we're going to an event that the city puts on, like multiple events that are promoted for Canada Day throughout the city. So we're going to one of them, and it'll be nice because the kid gets to run around and enjoy all the festivities.
Okay.
Then we get really hot and disgustingly sweaty because it's so bloody hot outside. It's touching 40 degrees again. It's not great. It's like 100 and something for y'all over across the border. Kate, I'm gonna learn things on the show sometime. Remember when we used to do a podcast, Kate? Remember that day? It's been a long time. Instead, now she's telling lies to her co-host and hoping that he gets it right.
Oh, right. Yeah, their Saudi bit. That's a good bit.
It's a good bit. Got to listen to a little bit of it this weekend. Sounds like they were having a good time. Grace saying Joel hit a beer tent while the kid runs around. I don't think that's going to work. Also, so we did a barbecue with another family on Saturday night. It was really nice because they have young kids and I've got a young kid, and all the kids were playing happily after dinner. I had a beer, and I barely ever drink. It's a rarity. But I had a beer because we were with a bunch of, just another couple that we like. I had one, and I woke up the next morning to go to the aquarium. Jeremy, I had a touch of a hangover. That's embarrassing.
Yeah. I mean, when you don't drink, I don't drink much. I had some drinks this weekend. On Saturday, honestly probably way too much because like 3-4 drinks for somebody who literally never drinks. 3 or 4 is a lot. Didn't have a hangover though. Woke up at 7:30 on Sunday, drove 9 hours and got home. So I was fine. But I typically don't get hangovers, even when I drink more than I should.
I think I was just dehydrated. That's usually what it comes down to. I just didn't have enough water afterwards.
Yeah, gotta get the water going with it. That's what I do after I get done drinking, and I just drink. Make sure I always got water, or I was drinking like Pepsi. So
Yeah, I normally try to balance it out. I screwed up. I went to bed too late without not enough water.
Hangover. You're so washed.
I know, and it was like centralized right here, and I'm trying to like corral kids in a busy aquarium. Like, no, this sucks. Everything sucks. That's just what I get. Anyway, speaking of anyways, go ahead and leave a thumbs up on the video. That's how washed I am. I couldn't even think of a good segue first thing in the morning. Get your thumbs up on, shall we? I gave you a great thumbnail this morning. I gave you an amazing title for this morning's episode. So clearly it's worth your time. Invest, join us, and subscribe to the channel. We're at 16,000. We did it. We hit 16,000 subscribers over the weekend. Took a little bit of begging, but we got there, and I appreciate y'all for supporting us and continuing to do so. And we grow. We keep growing. And of course, you can donate a super chat. Any get your question or your statement read on the air. And of course, it also, gives us a little bit more money that we can use towards all the other stuff that we do.
You get XP points. Tomorrow,
We're
going to get the winner for the Brian Alvarez cameo. I'm not going to tell everybody who is in first because I don't want, or who is in second. I don't want y'all spamming and trying to gain extra XP points, but it's a close one.
We haven't talked about this in about a week, but yes, the XP point gimmick is that if you have the highest XP points by the end of the month, you receive a cameo from the one and only Brian Alvarez.
Stupid gimmick, but yeah,
no, it's not stupid. It's fantastic.
I agree. It's
Remember, you only get, by the way, you only get XP points. Stop it, Zeno. You only get XP points if you donate anything of value. Not donate. If you comment anything of value. Because if you comment, you actually get the points. If you just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like
true?
Apparently it is.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay. I don't know what's true and what's not on this gimmick.
But
so
there was one episode where I popped in and I started saying things of any value, and I did like 4, and I was in first place. That was one of those episodes.
All right. I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Regardless, get yourself. I'm just trying to keep people from doing the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Who am I kidding? Don't spam the chat. Stop it. I'm not rigging it to win. If I wanted a cameo from Brian Alvarez, I could. I don't know if I really want to get one.
You would pay the $6 that it cost.
It's $6 for you. It's like $14.95 for us Canadians, which is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's cheap. That's why we're doing it. That's why it's the prize, because it's cheap.
Yeah. Live class. Wait a minute. This is a wrestling morning show. There's nothing of value. It was actually a very, very good point. Oh man, someone put over my my stuff earlier. I gotta do this. Hold on, where was it? Gray's got. Yeah, there you go. Title's one of your best. CM Punk and the terrible, horrible, no good, very bad Saudi trip. For those who don't know, it's after a book called Alexander and the Terrible, No Good, Very Bad Day. Because that's basically what CM Punk had to deal with for the last 48 to 72 hours. I don't even know where to start.
We got to start with Smackdown, obviously.
I guess so.
Because we talked about him apologizing on Friday, because that happened during our show.
Yes, it did. And we broke it down a bit, and we kind of talked about who is he apologizing to, and was it the blood money? Was it the blood soaked dick? Like, what is he doing? What we tried to break down and gave our thoughts in real time. There was another thought that I had that apparently I'm not alone in, and it's been addressed through Fightful Select, and that was the idea that maybe this was a planted apology, and nobody's confirmed it, nobody's denied it, so people that have been asked, according to Fightful Select, it wasn't, right? There's been nothing indicating that it was or wasn't. That being said, it's just a pit of my stomach feeling that it was hey, let's save face a little bit, but that's me. I'm purely speculating, and the way that the guy was front row center, and then he was front row center again the next night at the pay-per-view, it felt a little weird to me. But again, we don't know until something is officially discovered and reported upon. But yeah, so we talked about Friday, how Punk made his apology, and that was we had to change the thumbnail for that one, and then Friday came along. Well, I mean, Friday after you had the 30 minutes of having to wait through the first 30 minutes of the show. The final segment of the night, John Cena comes out. He gives his promo, and he got huge cheers because, of course, he did. It's his last time in Saudi. And all of a sudden, Word Life comes on. And then it has the Windows screensaver Punk Life just going across like the DVD screen. Dunk, dunk, dunk. You're waiting for it to hit all four corners. And CM Punk comes out. He's wearing he's wearing a Cubs jersey with 13, which I'm thinking back because Kate's been in the chat. I'm just thinking back to like how Kate felt on Friday night about this whole thing, and she was not happy about it. So anyway, out comes Punk. He's got the drug free on his knuckles, and he's doing the walk down on the open shirt and the knee pads down by his ankles because he's Ric Flair in 1999. And yeah, cuts a something. Can't call it a promo.
Rap.
Can't call it a rap. Can't call it a freestyle. He said words that had rhymes at the end of each sentence, and
he shouldn't have to rhyme these words in a rhythm for you to know it's a rap, Joel.
I feel like rappers know how to do it. I'm not saying John Cena was a prolific rapper by any means, but CM Punk made John Cena look like a prolific rapper by doing this promo. Punk did some slam poetry. He didn't even do slam poetry, Jose. He did, at best, beatnik, boop, boop, bap, bap, bap poetry. He didn't get there. He just tried.
This ruled.
It was so stupid.
This was awesome. It was so funny to watch this man come out there with this jersey and the sideways cap and act like Word Life John Cena, and his raps, which
I'm doing
even
my
that
CM
good.
Punk. Here's my CM Punk.
That's good.
Thank you.
It wasn't even good. Like, none of his lines, I was like, ooh, he got him there. Like, he tried to take a shot at Cena by calling him like a more problematic Hulk Hogan. And I'm like, that's not even like a good line. Like, it would have been a better line if he had said it. I mean, if he had said that Hogan is more problematic, it would have been much better than that. It wasn't even a good line. It just sucked. But it ruled at the same time how bad it actually was. It ruled so much.
It was perfect. By the way, Henry, I will ban your ass for that comment. Tell me I look like Tyrus.
That's
Jesus.
mean.
That is mean.
Once ever said.
That was needlessly mean. I know we joke around, but you apologize right now.
Yeah, you should ban him. I'm giving you permission to ban him. That's a very mean comment.
No, I can't. Henry does great work in our Fightful Select Discord, and I can't do that because they work very hard there. I'll give him a pass. You say it again, I swear to God.
You could ban him. It's fine.
This was, I think Xeno Hour just kind of hit it. not the go home angle. And I understand, like many have pointed out, you had John Cena do the pipe bomb the week before, so you needed CM Punk to, fight back, quote unquote, by doing the John Cena throwback.
Didn't need to, but sure.
I mean, conventional wisdom would dictate. It was expected, but also unexpected. I think it was unexpected because of the space, because they were in Saudi Arabia. It was the go home show. They weren't gonna get physical. It didn't feel like they were gonna get physical, and it just wasn't. I don't know. It's so many people have made reference to the humiliation season that this has become for CM Punk, especially the last 72 hours. And like, it's hard. There's a part of me that's like, man, maybe because the pipe bomb felt like it was collaborative between Punk and Cena. And that this was also collaborative. Somebody thought that in that room, when they put it together, John, Phil, whoever was producing it, or not even producing, but whoever was writing with it, somebody thought that this was the way to put it together, and this was the way to look, and this was the way to do it, and it wasn't. And I see SP3 piping in. I just love the first thing is Jeremy's about to say it. Like, this is all you needed to know. SP3 : it sucked. I saw that and I'm like, yeah, that's pretty much the way. It wasn't very good. I saw other people calling it out for being, against the culture, and that's not for me to talk about, but I understand completely why people are feeling that way. And I also, talking about Kate, I saw Kate talk about how Punk's retort was, LOL, Nikki Bella's back, and that's your ex. And
that sucked.
It was like, it's cute, but it's stupid at the same time. It's like, this doesn't need to be here. You think
none of his lines were good?
Yeah,
that was my biggest issue with it. It wasn't good. But that's why it was hilarious, because it was so bad at how awful it was. Like, it wasn't clever. He messed up a couple of lines. I don't know if he lost his place or whatever it was, like, but he was clearly struggling a little bit. The beat killed him. The acapella beat whooped his ass.
It did.
And it just wasn't even like good. I was like, this is the most clever stuff you could think of, is a problematic Hulk Hogan, Nikki Bella's back, and I'm Kendrick and you're Drake. All right. I said this on socials. I knew they weren't going to do it. A Pusha and Travis Scott line would have hit. It wouldn't have hit to the same level, because Pusha and Travis Scott is not the beef that Kendrick and Drake is. But you want to actually do something that's like, 1, relevant, 2, timely, 3, double meaning. Could have fed you a Pusha and Travis Scott line, but no, let's do Kendrick and Drake because that's a beef that people know for the last year. It was low-hanging fruit stuff. And when you're supposed to be this great micmatician, I expect better. Your rhymes sucked.
Again, somebody sat down with these two guys and said, this is the way to do it. And, someone asking in the chat was Robert Roode, the producer. So again, when there's physicality, producers. When there isn't, writers. There was a writer who was assigned to this, who absolutely gave their input at one point, and the 3 or 4 or 15 people who are putting it together said, this is the one. And somebody signed off on it and said, let's go. Again, everything you're saying about, why they chose Drake and Kendrick, like, it makes perfect sense. And why not Travis Scott and Pusha T? Like, I get it. You knew they were just going to get there. And it was so stupid. And that's the other thing, too. Are they still working with Travis Scott? Because the stuff with Rock and Travis Scott just kind of, that's it. It doesn't exist. My work here is done, he said, as he walked away with unfinished business. So I don't know who thought this was the idea. I don't know who thought this was the right idea. It's clearly we're talking about it, but we're talking about it for all the reasons it wasn't good, other than it just existed. And this is after Punk had to apologize, and there were boos and there were cheers. Like, he was the most polarizing figure of the entire weekend, but he was just getting made to look like a bitch every step of the way. And this was chapter 2. So now do we fast forward? Do you want to just fast forward to the match, or do you have anything else from SmackDown that you want to add about this particular segment?
I want to talk about this promo for 2 more hours at the very least. I had to I had to write this entire promo. Like I transcribed this whole rap. Should I do the rap?
You should. You should.
Okay. All
right. Did you do the original one or did you do the cleaned up one from
No, original.
Good on you.
I was out on Friday night. I didn't know it got edited or whatever.
You never know. Sometimes you like to go back and make sure you redot your I's and T's as things were done.
No. This is all right, folks. Let me find my article here.
You're gonna be going back.
Full lyrics. Full lyrics, everybody. Should I don't have like gaudy jewelry. I have a hat. I can definitely put the hat on sideways.
Yeah, put the hat on sideways. You got your John Cena.
The kids definitely got some stuff. Hold on. Vamp for a little while, Joe. We're going full gimmick.
Oh, we are. Hold on. You're gonna get the shirt and everything, eh?
I'm gonna get the shirt. Yep. Hold on, everybody. All right, I'll be back.
All right, go do this. All right, Jeremy's gonna go and do his own thing and figure this out. I'm gonna go down to the one side. This is crazy. Jeremy's gonna go full gimmick for this whole promo, and I'm gonna tell you that I thought this promo was so stupid. I laughed, and I just thought this was fantastic. I hope he does. Yo, listen. Oh man, yeah. SP3 is asking to botch the bars just like CM Punk did, and that's why I asked: are you going to do the edited one or are you going to do the original one? Because he did not do it very well. Alexa Bliss Gamer is very excited about this. Alexa Bliss Gamer, what do you think about Charlotte Flair and Alexa becoming besties? They're going to team together now. They're going to win those tag titles. What do you think? Are they going to win them at Evolution? Is that the way you want to do it? That's the way I would do it. This will probably be today's short, Boris. And you know what? I hope Jeremy does it by having just his face and not, some WWE stuff in the background. I don't care if the WWE visuals get more looks. Jeremy looking like a full-ass weirdo doing this would be perfect. I need this. This has to be the short. I agree with you, Boris. This should be the one. Allies on Convenience will win the tag team championships at Evolution. We'll see. I'd like to see Bliss and Charlotte try to coexist until the Wyatts take out Charlotte or make her the queen of the Wyatts. I think we want that. Oh my goodness. What a SmackDown that was. What a SmackDown. The Women's Championship did not change hands. Got Nia Jax losing again to Tiffany Stratton. Put that on the shelf. Let's go. Let's leave that one. Let's put it away for a long time. Let's not touch it again for a little while, a long while. Naomi teasing the cash in. Are we going to do this every week? Are we going to tease the cash in every single week from here on to existence? I don't want this. They started it last week and I said, stop it. And they're doing it again this week. And I said, stop it. And I hope that they don't continue with it because it gets so old so fast. And I understand that people get excited. We could see a title change. It could happen. You just saw one. You saw the Women's U.S. Championship change. You're good, Riyadh. You're good. You saw it. You don't need to tease it every single night. It's ridiculous. Kate's saying, of course, they're going to tease it. I get it. They are going to tease it, but it's so overplayed. And they know this. They have to know this. They just think it's a big pop. It's going to happen, blah, blah, blah. Oh, God. SP3 saying they announced Jordan versus JC for Evolution, yet they haven't announced a single match for Great American Bash. Well, SP3, I've got good news for you. In 48, 50 hours from now, or whatever it is, you will have most of your Great American Bash matches, or at least the first 3 or 4 of them on a 5-match card at a center stage in Atlanta. By the way, I really want to go. There's one event happening at center stage in Atlanta, a show that I've always wanted to go to. I can't even. I'm watching. Jeremy just came back, and I can't wait for this. We'll get there in a second. Jeremy, let me get my point off. Prague Power USA. They're doing it in Atlanta at center stage. That's a concert I want to go to. That's a show I want to be at. When he's ready, you can bring on the beats and just do it all. Jeremy.
Yo. Word life. This is basic punkonomics. Don't adjust your television set. Your eyes are working just right. This clown plagiarized my pop bomb, so now I'm stealing word life. You had to rip me off just to cut your best promo to distract from the fact that we all see you move in slow-mo. Remember when you used to rap? Yeah, you deserve all the criticism. You're like Timu Macklemore with Mackle-less rhythm. He said, I'm a problem. He called me a player hater. Let's be honest. John Cena has buried more talent than The Undertaker. That's why he's the champ. He went and lost all his respect. Hey, John, I get it. I'd retire too if this place rehired my ex. If you never said your prayers, ate your vitamins, or fixed your bald spot, you wouldn't be a pro wrestler. You'd be a Boston mall cop. He gets good movie roles. That much is a fact. But when we see Batista act, we realize John ain't that. Same shirt, same hat. Your persona stays tragic. You're like a fish belly white Hulk Hogan, but somehow more problematic. When it comes to best in the world, I'm your vessel. Millions chant my name. At you, they chant you can't wrestle. Get in while you can. In 6 months, he'll be gone, and I'll still be here having fun. He won't have time for you little people anymore. He'll be busy washing underwear for James Gunn. He's a superhero now. He works for DC. But no matter how hard you try, you'll still always be the Marine to me. That's straight to DVD. You better find a PS3. And now I understand you can't see me. It's a hell of a catchphrase, John. But now it's all done because we all see you and you're looking more like a washed up bum. 14 years ago today, I dropped a legendary pipe bomb. And you tried to make it all about you because that's what you do, John. You're a leech. You're a phony. You're a fraud. You're an ass kiss. 17-time world champion. But you ain't never been in my class. Before you go, John, there's one more wish to make. Tomorrow night, you're gonna lose to Kendrick because, bitch, you're my Drake. Basic Punkonomics. Word. Look at this ring I have. This thing is
everyone's pointing out that ring.
Yeah, it's a giant. I got this giant ring. I proposed to my wife like 13 times before she finally said yes. So I used that ring once. I have these shark rings. I don't know if people can see them, but there's shark rings. I have a giant shark ring there that's like eating my finger. And this is the Bret Hart ring. Look at that.
Yeah, that's the one.
It's a Bret Hart ring. There we go.
Look at this. Yeah, so him rhyming bum and John, good stuff. And
you know what? You know what line pissed me off?
Is it the ass kiss?
The line, yes. Yeah, the ass kiss and then 17 time world champion. You ain't never been in my class. He should have thrown a bitch
yes,
in there.
I agree.
They love the bitch.
Well, so originally it was supposed to be you're a kiss ass. That was the line. It was supposed to be you're a kiss ass, 17 world champion, but you ain't never been in my class. That was supposed to be the line. But he messed up and he said you're an ass kiss. And he should have said, like you said, he should have said, you ain't ever been in my class, bitch. Then at least you would have made it look okay. But yeah, everyone kind of put it, well, not everyone, but like most people kind of pieced it together. But again, rhyming bum and John is just, just chef's kiss. Oh, God. My favorite was, as you were just in the crux of it, Cam was right there for you. Oh, that was perfect.
Cam, I saw you dancing this weekend. You were getting down to some CM Punk rhymes.
That's right.
Cam was doing the Mercedes dance in the club this weekend. I saw it.
Damn, get that CEO going.
Yeah, this was so terrible, but it ruled. It absolutely ruled.
Oh, just so funny. So useless. And then we fast forward to Saturday. Are we still talking about Friday? Because I know you're still enjoying this.
It was so hilarious. It was so funny. For people who were like, oh, you know, it was a parody of John Cena Word Life because John Cena parodied the pipe bomb. It's like, yeah, we get it. they're not out here throwing out, you know, mathematical formulas of pro wrestling tropes here. We understand why it was done. Doesn't mean it was good. He could have done this, but had more biting lines and better lines. But he didn't. The lines just weren't good. The rap wasn't good. Like,
Not at all.
That's the issue I have with it. Is I don't mind that he's doing it. I think it's funny. But it being bad doesn't make it worthwhile. You know, do it good. That's it. Just do it good.
When he flubbed, I don't know what, I think it was probably the ass kiss. At one point, Punk like put the mic down, walked up to Cena, and I thought he said, "I'm gonna miss you," but I think he actually said, "I messed up." Now that I think about it, I think he may have said, "I messed it up," but it looked like he said to Cena, "I'm gonna miss you" off mic, like just as like a tense moment. They're supposed to stare at each other. Man, what a moment that was. They send that man to Saudi. He has to apologize, and then they got him dressed up like that, doing that promo.
Ruled. Absolutely ruled.
And then we fast forward to Saturday.
I'm going to change out this jersey. This jersey is very itchy, so hold on.
All right,
I'll be back.
All right. So then they get to Saturday. Saturday is a hell of a moment, hell of a fight, hell of a match. They do a lot of the callbacks, and I like that. There was some moments. Sean saying he did say "I miss you," and that's the thing. If that's what Punk said on Friday, sure. It also looked like he said "I messed up." He could have said either, but regardless. Saturday, the match, they do the callbacks, they do the Raw 1000 callbacks, they do the Money in the Bank 2011 callbacks, they do everything you can do. And then they do the WrestleMania 40. Everyone comes down because everyone's got problems with everyone else, and it's they do all the run-ins, and it is what it is. Jeremy's back. We're talking about Saturday. They do the Avengers. CM Punk looked fine until they did all the run-ins, and then they did the hug. And they couldn't kick him in the dick. Nope. CM Punk's been reading my Twitter. He saw it coming. Kick him in the dick, John. Let's go home. But this time, he said, "No, I know it's coming." Stop the dick kicking. And instead, turned it into what would have been a GTS. Regardless, Seth gets the stomp. He had come out to tease cashing in because everyone's doing that. It's now tease season.
I hate that.
Yes, when you were getting ready, I was talking about tease season. Everyone's teasing a cash in for the next 28,000 days because there's only 365. But the point is, all the shows now is going to be teasing a cash in. Regardless, Seth costs Punk. Punk loses the match. John Cena, who had some moments of reflection and trepidation, didn't know if he wanted to commit to the bad stuff he's been doing, but still did it. But there was some character development. But overall, John Cena retains, and CM Punk's made to look like a bitch lying on the Riyadh season mat, trying to do the Undertaker lift. It was very funny and very stupid. And then John Cena walks out with his championship all happy-dappy.
I thought the main event was going fine. It was hitting my very low bar expectations of what a John Cena CM Punk match was going to be in 2025. And then all this run-in stuff just killed it for me. I didn't need any of it, honestly. I hate all of it. Like they want to do the WrestleMania 40 bit, and it worked for WrestleMania 40 because we had years of Bloodline. And it was a Bloodline rules match, but we had years of Bloodline doing run-ins, and so finally Avengers assembled to help Cody Rhodes. Like, that made it cool. That made it worthwhile. This one was just, let's do a a bunch of run-ins because we got to do a Seth tease. I hate the teased cash-ins that are not actual cash-ins because they run those into the ground before they finally do the cash-in. And then Penta ruled. They just wanted to dance. He didn't care about this dumb match. He's
Good for him.
Let me do my cool walk, and then maybe I'll get to the ring. Sami, Cena, not turning, but turning. I was done with this match after Seth. I swear it took Seth like 5 years to get to the ring, too. I was like, can you hurry up, please? If you're going to do this run-in, can you please like just hurry up? Because what's the point of this cash-in if you're going to take forever to get down there? He wasn't even dressed to wrestle. So even he didn't buy in that he was like going to do some type of cash-in. He just want to come out and score around. Wasn't a fan of all of the run-in stuff, honestly. Like, I know WWE overbooks a lot of this stuff. I get it. That's their calling card at this point. I think they could have just had a relatively normal match and it would have been more meaningful than all of this.
Yeah, it was. I think it was just done for the sake of doing it. You know, it was one of those, we're not, you know who's going to win the match. So let's make it quote unquote interesting. Whether or not interesting, well, that's in the eye of the beholder. But they accomplished a couple of things. They got to the end of the match. John Cena, you know, he retained. He did it by doing semi babyface things by trying to help take out Seth's gang. Seth got back at Punk. Seth wants he's now seemingly going for the world title going for the WWE title instead of the world title. So like there were some things that were accomplished by this. However, it still felt very overdone, overbooked. Shout out to us. There were certain things that they were trying to accomplish that they did. It just felt too much. And by the end of it, I was like, all right, well, we did it. And now everyone's got their moments, and now everyone can go ahead, go back on the plane and go home. Except for CM Punk, who's still lying on the mat in Saudi.
And like, I understand why they want to do this overbooked stuff because this is what they do. This is like every card has this, even the television shows. Look at the King of the Ring qualifiers and the Queen of the Ring qualifiers. How many run-ins did we have in some of those matches? They like doing all of these run-ins. It's just such a crutch of they want to protect the people who are going to lose. So, oh, well, they didn't lose clean. Like, it's okay. It's okay if CM Punk loses because he got kicked in the dick and hit with a title. I promise you CM Punk is not going to be less cheered because of this. And they just, instead, they want to do, well, it was that on top of Seth getting involved. I know I didn't get kicked in the dick, but it was Seth getting involved, and so we had to protect Punk in this way. It's fine. You can just book a basic heel finish, and it'll be fine. Oh, yeah. Match was going well until then.
But you know why they really did this? Sorry, I'm going to put on my conspiracy Joel hat, my Punk life. Here we go. The reason they did this, you see, is because at AEW All In Texas, there has been talk about doing the WrestleMania 40 Avengers
I had
finish,
that thought,
right?
actually.
So they were like, "Oh, they're gonna do it. We're gonna do it first, and we're gonna do it so that it's terrible, so that when they do it, they're gonna say, "Oh, everyone's just copying us now," and that's why they did it. That was the sole reason, no other reason. Hey, what happened?
I actually had that thought of what are they just doing this because everyone thinks that the All In Texas that's what they're gonna do, so they're just gonna be like, oh, we're gonna do it first, even though we did it first anyway because we did it at WrestleMania 40, but that was over a year ago, so
nobody remembers.
Wrestling fans can't remember that far. So yeah, I had that thought as well of like, oh, they're just doing this to get ahead. So they're like, oh, they copied the Saudi match, like
Sure. But I would love if it came out that was actually the case. I don't expect it was, but who knows? That's the conspiracy theorist in me loves to just toy out that stupid idea. But again, from a story standpoint, the Penta stuff made a little sense. He's been going after Breaker. Punk told him, or not Punk, Seth Rollins told him on Monday, stay out of my business. He did it again. There was reason for it. It was silly as hell. Like Sami coming out made sense again. Sami's been dealing with Seth, and Sami's also a big draw there, and he won his match, so he wanted to get a moment. Like there was reason to do it. It just felt so stretched out and so silly and so unneeded. You could have just had Seth, and that's it. But they needed to get the other two guys out of there. They needed to get Braun and Bronson out of the picture. So the other two guys come out. It was what it was. It wasn't very good, and John Cena retained his title. Whatever happens tonight on Raw, which by the way, thank God airs at 6 p.m. tonight, you can find out and figure out what the beginnings of the stories are going into SummerSlam. But they've got a full ass month to get us there, so that's going to be the other side of it. Got that Cody Rhodes is going to take on John Cena. That's on the docket. Cody Rhodes did win the King of the Ring, opened up the show. The feed kept up for the entirety of that. And Cody beat Randy Orton in the King of the Ring final, and Randy Orton looks like he's getting a little bit closer to becoming a little bit more pissed off and starting to do some underhanded things that might make him a bad guy again. And I'm all for that if that's the case. But if we're going towards Cody maybe beating John Cena and eventually getting a heel Randy against Cody Rhodes, there's story there. There's a lot of reason for Randy to do it. The match itself from Saturday was fine. It was a good match. I thought Cody and Randy were going to go in there and put on, like I said, probably the best wrestling worked match, which probably was true because I would argue the street fight was the best match, but of all the regular matches, quote unquote, this was the best one. Yeah. So Cody wins. He's got John Cena. Believe in yourself, kids. I'm coming back to take my title. What did you think? What's going on with Randy and what's going on with number one Cody?
Well, we're gonna do Cody and Cena again. So you don't move I hate.
The uppercut punch.
Well, yes, I hate that move. At least when he does it during a match, it's fine. When he's doing the springboard and it gets countered into the cutter, or no, in Orton's case, the RKO. Why is he turning into him?
We've talked about this before.
Yeah.
We discussed
it takes me out of things. I hate it. It's I know it's like a minor like nitpick thing, but I can't stand it. If you're doing a Cody cutter, you're landing on your back, so you would not turn to your stomach. If you're doing the disaster kick, you're leading with your foot, so you would not turn with your face. I'm going to turn so you can catch me with this RKO. Like, don't do that. Make him hit you with a neck breaker. Stop it. It's dumb.
I told you he's not going to fly blind. He's a 3D wrestler. He's gonna hit his mark until he doesn't, and that's all. Randy took off the top turnbuckle pad and ended up playing into the finish where nobody's head went into it, but instead Randy's ribs did, and that was the finish. So Randy sells the ribs. He gets hit with the crossroads. That's it. This was, again, solid match, solidly worked, which we expected from these two. As I mentioned last week, it was going to be the best wrestled match on the card, and it was because, again, for Cena and Punk up until the interference was doing really well, but you were off camera, so I mentioned it was very much a callback type of feeling where they were doing a lot of the hits from Money in the Bank 2011 and from Raw 1000 and from their matches, from their history. There was some stuff there, but otherwise, like in terms of original stuff, given even the history between Cody and Randy, no, they did a lot of really good storytelling and a lot of good just movement in the ring. I think commentary was pointing out that Cody had never beat Randy in singles competition up until now. So that was another part that played into the story of the match. So good stuff. Again, Cody gets to go against John. Not a big fan of having Cody win King of the Ring to do it. I wish we had done it somehow else, but I don't know. Maybe again, going back to Rock and Travis Scott, maybe things got completely thrown through whatever problems they had, and this was the answer. They probably could have done something better with John and Cody, but this is what we're doing. This is SummerSlam. Is this the end of the John Cena title reign, or is this another chapter for John Cena with his world title final year?
Travis Scott has a new album coming out in July. Actually comes out the same day that the Clips album comes out, which is hilarious. I hope. Like, WWE is not going to get Tyrese Halliburton on the show this year, unfortunately. I hope. Let's see if they can get Travis Scott and Pusha T on there. I don't think Pusha T would actually do that. It's WWE's not. I don't want to use the F word, but I don't feel like Pusha T would be one of doing this predetermined stuff out there. But Travis Scott, he's got an album to push. Oh, he should be on the show. I don't think he's gonna come back. I was gonna do Cody and Cena, and maybe old Dwayne finally makes a phone call or gets on a plane and decides he's gonna show up for this. So otherwise, I don't have a ton of interest in Cena and Cody too. The first match wasn't good. Like, just it wasn't good at all. And John Cena hasn't done a whole lot to make me believe he's gonna have a good match on this retirement tour. Cody in the title picture is just sure. I hope they got The Rock. I hope they got Travis Scott. They need something to make this feel a little bit better. I know they're not getting Pusha T, Zeno Mauer. I'm just throwing it out there. But no, Pusha T's 100% not doing this. Maybe
last time we saw Rock was what, Toronto? Elimination Chamber?
Yeah.
I was about to say, he's not going to go to New Jersey. He doesn't want to go that far north, but he'll come to Toronto. But he likes Toronto. Nobody likes New Jersey. Maybe he'll just show up on the video screens and be like, Rock doesn't want to be here. Nobody wants to be here. Boo. Except for that, like, 3 guys in the audience be like, oh, he's right. Why are you booing him? He's right. And then he brings out Travis Scott. And that's the beginning of chapter 2. I'd rather not. I see that there's more for John Cena to do as we're now in August, but also realizing we're coming down to single digits for his appearance. Where is he? 15 appearances left?
Yeah.
That's not a lot. That's if you were doing, that's 2 weeks basically. I mean, like concurrently. Like if there was a wrestling show every day of the week, which spoiler alert there is, he would appear on every single show, and in 2 weeks that would be it. He'd be retired before the middle of July. But if we're doing once a week, that's 15 weeks, which is a pretty solid, pretty solid number. I just you got to assume he's going to take a month off somewhere. Is that going to be maybe if he drops the title now, he comes back for, it wouldn't be Survivor Series build. Unless he's part of Survivor Series. Well, I assume he is because they're going to do a baseball stadium. But what's John Cena's presentation into the fall? Because if he drops it by summer, he would have had WrestleMania to SummerSlam. It's fine. It's whatever. The title reign was not very good, mostly panned. Or do you keep it on him for a little while longer, hope that it noses up? Because again, the build to the Punk match was good. Do you want to see if somebody else can bring this out of him to the point where you can look at it and be like, okay, 50-50. Like what works best in the long term? Because again, you're also doing Cody. You can't beat Cody twice and then have him win once, can you?
Sure you can.
I guess. And by the way, I'm talking singles matches because I know people are gonna be like, well, it's Cody pinned Cena in the tag match. Like, I don't really count that. And I also don't like that would have facilitated their match either. If they had said, you pin me at Money in the Bank, so you get a title match. That's stupid in a 6-man, in my opinion. I'd rather he earn his shot by winning a bunch of singles matches to prove his point, not beat the champion in a 6-man. So I don't know where John's story is.
That's how Solo got his shot last year.
I know. I didn't like that either.
Well, Cody got a shot because he won King of the Ring. So
this time, yes. But I'm saying, had they not done King of the Ring, what else could they have done? And then someone in the chat mentioned, well, he pinned him in Money in the Bank. And going back to that conversation, I didn't like that. But what I was really talking about,
King of the Ring.
So. You won King of the Ring. It was still stupid. But regardless, what's the trajectory for John? What do we do with John Cena, knowing that he could be dropping the title at SummerSlam and he's got a bunch of appearances still left for the end of the year?
I don't know if he's dropping the title at SummerSlam.
Is it a DQ finish? Is it a Seth Rollins steals the title?
They could do the Rollins cash in at SummerSlam. So maybe they do that, but I don't know if Cody's the guy who's gonna like beat him for this title. I just don't. So I don't have to take the title off of Cena, folks. He's
Yeah,
not
that
there.
also. Sorry, I was going to say like the Peacemaker press stuff. That's not going to affect as much as people think it is. That's maybe 2 weeks that he can just take off.
Right, he's already taken off 3 weeks at this point. His next appearance isn't until, let's see, when's his next scheduled appearance? Since I do have that.
I would assume SummerSlam, but also he'll have other shows.
No, he's definitely confirmed for events before August 1st. This is his next one. So yeah, he's taking off all of July as of right now. Maybe
August
something
1st is SummerSlam, by the way.
No, it's not. It's SmackDown before.
It's SmackDown before, but you know what? It's still SummerSlam week.
I know,
weekend.
right. I wasn't sure if there was a July event. So yeah, he's off all of July. Maybe stuff gets added. I assume date will get added. I hope a couple dates get added because otherwise you're counting on Cody to carry this whole thing if Cena's not showing up until the SmackDown before SummerSlam to promote this match. And look, Cody can carry it, but Cody's going to be cutting the same promo a lot if John Cena's not there to play off of. So yeah, something might get added between now and July. He's got a lot of dates in August, by the way. Like he's got SummerSlam, he's got the SmackDown after SummerSlam, and then he's got the European shows in Ireland and France, and then Clash in Paris, which is also, that's the end of August. So he's got a lot of dates in August. I don't feel like he's losing that title.
And then he's got October. He's got the Australia tour. That's another at least 2 dates.
Yeah.
So they're going to pass by, and he's going to take time off, and then to get that's what, September, October, and then we get into Survivor Series, and then we do the finale. And the finale is in Boston.
He hasn't been announced for anything past the Australia dates, and technically he's only announced for the pay-per-view. I assume he will work or at least appear on the SmackDown and Raw since they're both in Australia. But I'm just going by what's confirmed appearances, and that has not been confirmed.
So the countdown ticker where he keeps coming out and says I have X amount of dates left, he seems to do this after a successful title defense, and then he says and it's all leading to I'm going to leave with this title. And I know everyone's waiting for him to apologize and turn face, and that's it. What if we really do get down to the wire? I've said this before. What if we get all the way to that Boston show and it's Cody and John Cena or whoever it is? It's John Cena's final match, and this is for the title, and this is for all the marbles. And I said I'm going to do it, but he loses, and that is his about face towards the end. Shakes Cody's hand, says, "You're a man of my word. You did it. You're the guy." And that's it. It's an abrupt face turn. Thank you. See you. Bye. That John Cena, for everything that people say about how hokey he is as a character, he is a pro wrestling historian, purist type. Like, he watches tape. He knows. Like, he's been a fan. He knows you go out on your back. He knows that you do business the right way and that you hook them all the way to the end. John would potentially want something like that. Not just the idea of being champion all the way to the end, but the idea that like he really does commit to this character all the way to the finish and not just cop out in the middle, because part of this whole presentation has been, I have X amount of dates left. LOL, deal with it. I understand that people don't like the heel turn. I understand that it hasn't been the best. I also understand that what he just did with CM Punk was probably the best that it's been so far. Could it get better? That's for SummerSlam. If SummerSlam's build and if the match and the whatever happens after SummerSlam, like that night, if that doesn't deliver, then yeah, maybe the conversation does switch to what do we change? And that is John Cena's presentation.
I do have some breaking news.
Go ahead.
John Cena is advertised for the July 18th episode of WWE Smackdown. That's at Frost Bank Center in San Antonio, Texas. So he will be part.
That's the big weekend. That's the post all-in weekend where they're running Texas.
Right. Yeah. So he will be part of at least part of the SummerSlam build. He will be showing up before the SmackDown before SummerSlam.
By the way, for those who want, WWE's running a ticket offer for the Canadians in the house. If you want to go to the Montreal show, the Quebec City show in August, use the promo code Canada and you get 30% off tickets. Just saw that. Look at that. They got they'll get your money. They'll get 30% less of it if you use that promo code. That's their big Canada Day deal. But yeah, so that's the weekend that they're running. They're doing San Antonio on the Friday. They're doing Corpus Christi. They're doing super shows, like they're doing house shows on the Saturday and the Sunday in Edinburgh and Corpus Christi. Then they go to Houston for Raw, and then they do SmackDown the next night at the Music Hall, 713 Music Hall in Houston. So that's a busy weekend for them in Texas. The weekend after All In, so they're trying to get it. Someone asking, is Joel going to Montreal? Nope, there's no reason for me to go unless I am given a comp ticket and I could take the train for free, I guess, because I have points, but no reason for me to go. I've been to enough wrestling events lately. I think my next one is probably All Out at this point. Raw tickets are already $400, Grace. What are we doing? I gotta check this out. I believe you.
For what?
For Raw tickets.
Like tonight's Raw?
No, Montreal. It's got to be Montreal.
Oh.
I gotta look this up. I believe it. I truly do. But like, good Lord. Monday Night Raw at the Centre Vidéotron. Let's take a look. Accept and continue. Yes. Oh yeah, they started $77 up in the gods. What are you talking about?
Okay.
You can get them. 120.
Lying on.
If you want us on the floor, it's 800. Let's take a look. I'm going to use promo code Canada. And I'm going to get, lower bowl tickets for $120. Still expensive. Still not paying that. No, I'm just not. Sorry, folks. That's me. But if y'all want to put down that money, go for it. Have fun. 30% off is good. Grace said he's making a joke, but it wouldn't shock me. Yeah, me neither. That's why we looked into it. So regardless, that was kind of what we're looking at. CM Punk, by the way, eventually did scrape his carcass off of the Riyadh season mat and went his way over to Pittsburgh, where the site of tonight's Raw is. And he yesterday was posting socials that he went to. It was what was it again? It was a demonstration. It was a march. It was a march for what was it, for reproductive rights? Sorry, folks, I had it up and I just lost my tab. Someone else is going to tell me what it was, and I'm sure it's going to be Kate. Kate, tell me where he was. Tell me everything. Why aren't you telling me right this minute? He was in attendance for the UPMC protest against their planned cuts to gender-affirming care scheduled to go in effect today. It was in downtown Pittsburgh. There we go. Protested.
I drove through Pittsburgh yesterday. I didn't see him, though.
You didn't see Punk? He was amongst the masses.
I could probably go to Raw tonight, the double taping. I just don't want to.
You should.
Nah.
The show's so early.
I've been, but then I got to stay for SmackDown. So
I mean, you don't have to stay for anything.
I've been doing too much driving lately, so I don't really want to drive. Although this would be the shortest trip I would make, I don't really want to drive 2 hours to Pittsburgh. So,
are you trying to say that your eyes are getting weary and your back is getting tight? You're sitting here in traffic on the Queensboro Bridge tonight?
Is that King of Queens?
Hey, you got it.
Okay. I've heard that jingle enough in my lifetime.
That's so stupid.
What a reference you just pulled up. The friggin' King of Queens theme song.
I don't even know where you're just like, I've been driving too much. I was like,
I drove.
I get it.
Yeah, to Detroit and back same night, to Indiana and back same night, and then to 9 hours to Virginia. Not same night, but Thursday and Sunday. Just too much driving.
Well, now's your chance to do a little bit more. What's funny is that I would argue that going to SmackDown would be more important because you get the spoilers and get all the information beforehand.
Yeah.
It's like, that's why I went to the TNA Impact tapings and not to the actual live show. I'm like, I don't really need to be at the live show the night before because it wasn't very good to begin with. But also, I'd rather go to the TV tapings and just get all the results for ahead of time for us. It's perfect.
Yeah, Like the double taping makes it like, maybe. But Jensen and I are supposed to do an interview tonight as well, and I already canceled one interview on him when I went to Game 6, so I don't want to cancel it again.
It's probably a good idea.
It's a big interview. It's our guys. It's our
okay.
Ring of Hallucinations future stars, hopefully. So
big fan, can't wait to see it. What else happened on the Night of Champions card? We saw Jade Cargill become the queen of the ring against Asuka. I was hoping for the other side, but I understand. Can't tell you it was a great match, but I can tell you that they're going to do Jade Cargill as of right now, taking on Tiffany Stratton for the Women's Championship. Naomi, of course, is going to be lurking in the shadows with her caution tape. And yeah, it is what it is. Jade Cargill coming out here and being like, this is for everyone who was told you couldn't do it. And it's like, Jade Cargill, you are a very beautiful, very in shape woman. No one's ever told you can't. What are we doing here?
I felt bad for Jade, man. Like, she got the pinfall and the crowd didn't care.
Way into Asuka.
And then she cut a promo and the crowd didn't care. Yeah, I didn't think the promo was the right sort of message for Jade either. Like trying to portray her as like the underdog. I was like, I don't know about that. You're Jade Cargill. When have you been like the underdog? You've basically ran through everybody. That's the whole thing. But the crowd just like did not care. And I don't think it's her fault. I just think the crowd is, but I felt bad for her just because it was, she just got no reaction off of it. Like you hope in that moment you want a good reaction from it, and she got nothing. Yeah, I think it's more the crowd they were in front of. That crowd just, they were gonna react to her how they were gonna react to her, and it's not going to be a good reaction because that's what they do there. So I hope it doesn't bleed over here. That's my biggest concern, is sometimes these crowds, we see it in the good direction a lot. If the crowd is very lively and chanting and singing songs, then that bleeds over to other crowds. But you see it in the other direction too, where if a crowd is not giving people a certain reaction, then that starts to bleed over to other crowds. So I hope it doesn't bleed over to when they get back in the States and she just gets no reaction because this crowd decided they were going to give her no reaction. So that's my only hope, because it happens.
Chad, I love y'all, but Jade does a Storm cosplay like every other month. People are like, she nailed that Storm cosplay. I'm like, yes, she nailed the thing she does every couple of months. She's actively trying to get a Storm, film role. I largely agree with you. The crowd was just not into Jade, and they were more into Asuka, but that may have just been the legacy act that is Asuka. They were just a fan of hers. Maybe there's other reasons for the Jade hate, and it's not for me to talk about because I'm not there and I'm not plugged into that. But it was, again, the match was okay, and Cargill is the queen of the wing, queen of the ring. I can speak. I can make my R's and not my W's. Yeah, that was the match. Asuka now, it feels like she and Kyrie might team up again, go after the women's tag titles, because that's now completely in the air with the Liv Morgan injury. Raquel Rodriguez doesn't have technically a partner, although as of tonight she very well might, and her name might just be Roxanne. Listen, it's not official until it's official, right? Adam Pearce has to come out and make it official. Otherwise, what's the official verdict on it? There's nothing. So that's happening. I feel like Asuka, Kyrie taking on Charlotte and Alexa and Raquel and Roxy, that might be an evolution match for the tag titles. But
say that again.
Do Asuka and Kyrie versus Alexa and Charlotte versus Raquel and Roxanne for the tag titles.
Where are the Bellas?
The who's?
Come on, where are the Bellas?
I mean, I get it. I do. I understand. I don't know if the Bellas are back in play. I don't know. Nikki was there the night of the injury. She was scheduled to do something. She didn't end up doing anything because obviously there was an injury. I don't know what has or hasn't changed as a result of the injury. I don't know if you can plug in Roxanne and get the same result, because Liv is the A1 of that team, with Nikki being the A1 of her team. No offense to Brie. It's just people have seen Nikki more than they've seen Brie in terms of single success in WWE. I don't know where the Bellas fit in, and it's not a knock at the Bellas. It's just the story kind of did take a nosedive when Liv got injured, because she was the person being compared to Nikki in this case. It's tough.
And then where's Rhea?
Rhea and Io for the women's world title, which I know is a match they've done a billion times before, but Rhea beat Raquel in the street fight, which was very good. We could talk about that. But Rhea did get the victory in a one-on-one match that could technically put her into contention for the women's title.
Yeah. I don't mind Rhea going after the title, because at least she's been doing something in the meantime, while Io's the one who's done nothing since WrestleMania. I don't need to see that match again.
I'm not going to lie to anyone. I don't like lying to the chat. We're 2 weeks away from Evolution. There has been one match announced, and that is the NXT Women's Championship. If you're expecting this to be the most amazingly put on show ever, I hate to say no to you, but the answer is no. It's going to be very thrown together. It's going to very much feel like a glorified house show, which is what the 2018 show was supposed to feel like too, in its own way. It was a house show, and then they turned it into an Evolution show because of everything that happened in Saudi Arabia with the women not being allowed to go. They're doing it again. They did it again. They did it because All in Texas is here. It's the same but different, in that they're not going up against an oppressive regime. They're just going after the people that are putting on the biggest show of the year in Texas, right? And their biggest show of the year. And they're trying to make it a bigger show, but they're not doing anything to actually show you it's a big show, other than the fact that we're bringing it back after not doing anything with it post 2018. That's what the Evolution show is. It was hype, but by the way, the show kind of just exists. By the way, Goldberg, his retirement match is that night, like the night before. But the point is, it's not as important. It's the Sunday, the day after the biggest event for AEW. That's what it is. Yeah, like Vala was saying here, damn type of show. Like, it's just what it feels like, and it sucks because the women deserve more attention, and especially in the stories, and more opportunity to tell a proper story going into these events. But instead, you're going to get all of the titles up, and you'll do, the triple threat with Bayley and Bayley and Becky and Lyra for the Intercontinental Women's Championship. Julia will probably either take on Zelina again in a rematch because it's been 2 weeks, or they'll have Chelsea Green come in and it'll be Chelsea again versus Julia. Or it'll be a triple threat again for those three, because the first three champions going at it. Like, don't expect much, because unfortunately, while yes, the Liv Morgan injury did screw things up, they weren't exactly running towards an amazing story for anybody other than Liv Morgan at this point. They were really, really, really banking on the Bellas being the reason you watch the show, and they still could, but it was supposed to be Liv and the Bellas. It was supposed to be the present and the past. But now they don't have the present, and to lean on the past is going to look bad. By the way, Trish and Lita might just show up again. Who knows? They got to figure out a spot for them. So it's strange. They're in a weird spot, but they're not going to be putting as much into it as people seem to think they're going to, with 2 weeks left until this show goes live. Just is what it is.
I would do Io and Nikki.
Sure. That's the reason why Io... Was it Io who ran? No, Io was saying nice things to Nikki. It was Kyrie that ran away from Nikki. Right. Yeah. You can do it, sure. It's a respect match.
Yeah, I would do Io and Nikki at this point. Just none of the builds are going to be good. We're 2 weeks away, and they haven't really built to anything. We're going to get something in the tag team division, whatever that's going to be, because there's supposed to be some type of an announcement tonight regarding Evolution. Maybe it's going to be tag team, maybe it's not going to be tag team, but there's some type of Evolution announcement tonight. I would do Io and Nikki as a past versus present type match, and is I don't know where things stand with Brie. If she can be there, cool. Like maybe she's part of the battle royal. I assume they'll do a battle royal. Maybe she's just in Nikki's corner. If you want to do a tag team match, Io and Kyrie against the Bellas could work. Otherwise, like my gut tells me they're gonna do Raquel and Roxanne against the Bellas, though. They're just gonna shapeshift their original plan. This is assuming Brie's involved. If Brie's not involved, then I stand by Io against Nikki. Because I don't think you want to shift from Liv to Raquel against Nikki. If you were going to do that, having Raquel lose to Rhea is a choice. If they were just going to put Raquel in the Liv spot and have her face Nikki. So yeah, Io and Nikki is my final answer.
I see people mentioning, Rhea, Io at SummerSlam. I think it's more likely you see Io and Asuka either at SummerSlam, or they could do that at Evolution and then do Rhea and Io at SummerSlam. They've done Rhea and Io so many times. Do they want to go back to that well for a SummerSlam match?
Yes.
That's fair.
They do.
There's also the Battle Royal they usually do with the past and the present. You know what? You want to talk about the one moment you want to see from an event like Evolution? This is so... It's inside, but the fans are online, and they know. I want to see Natalya come into that Battle Royal and Natty come out of that Battle Royal. You're not going to see it. You're not. But I'm going to put it out there because I know sometimes we manifest and sometimes we just talk about what we'd like to see because I think it's a good story that they can tell. Again, Natty has been doing these outside of WWE events, WWE adjacent, WWE sponsor, whatever. You put her in that as Natalya. She comes in. She's going with her friend, whose name I just completely forgot. Come on, Dungeon Babes. Maxine Dupree.
Maxine, yeah.
Stupid. My brain is fuddled today. You put them in together, and then eventually she knocks out Maxine, tosses her over, and now we start seeing her kind of get meaner and meaner till eventually she wins the match. And basically, this is the beginning of, Natty's made her way in. Natalya's done. But on the other hand, they just put the Dungeon Babes together, released the t-shirts, said we're going to be a team and you can do it, Sheamus. So we're kind of stuck with the Natalya character. So we're not going to see it, but I'd love to see it if you could just have Natty emerge as the person and give her that moment. And Kate, I did almost say she was going to dump Tamina last. I was, because nobody's Mina. But instead, I stuck to what I was trying to make, the point I was trying to make. I doubt you'll see Beth Phoenix in the Battle Royal. And if you do see Beth Phoenix, okay.
I don't think we're going to see Natty in WWE. As much as she wants it, as good as she's been with this on the indies, this just feels like one of those things that she's just doing to try to get some attention, and it's working. She's doing very well with it on the indies. But like the Cross stuff where they finally gave him a match, and then we'll see what happens after that. How long did it take him to actually get this match? And then what's going to be the follow-up now that he has lost this match? I respect them for trying it. They should. They shouldn't just want to just sit there and be like, oh yeah, sure, this is great. Like, go out, do more, especially with the opportunities there. WWE hasn't exactly shown that because you do more with these opportunities, it's going to translate to anything on WWE TV.
Love Bargoff pointing out the obvious. They just did the R-Truth I'm driving now shit. Do you think they'll do it again with Natty? It's true. You can only do so many like angry at creative or angry at the system type of segments or types of characters. And that's what these two are. R-Truth ain't really driving anywhere though. He's kind of driving into the depths of insanity.
Now he's just getting beat up by Aleister Black.
As one does. Let me tell you why you're wrong. I'm going to take the wheel. And then I'm going to drive it off a cliff. And you'll be reborn as Ron Killings. That's my Aleister Black. Is it good?
He sounds like he's on his deathbed.
That's what he does when he does his entrance. He's on his deathbed and hello, it's me. I'm Aleister Black. I'm here to have a match. It's Miro-esque. No, it's not. Miro's angry.
I don't think it's quite Miro. No. He just sounds like super old.
No, he is. How old is Aleister Black? Let's take a look.
He's 40 something, I think.
He is 40. He turned 40 May 19th. May 19th. Maybe that's why he's such a curmudgeon. Has to share his birthday with that date. Anyway. Oh, man. Why do y'all think Natty's punished? She's team Busted Open now. That's why she's getting punished. Because she's on Busted Open. If she were on this show, they'd be pushing her to the moon. But instead, she signed the Busted Open deal. She wanted money, not fame. Which, honestly, I understand. Solo Sikoa is the new U.S. champion. It's finally happened, Jeremy.
Hell yeah, this ruled.
The black hoodies are back. They found one big enough for Hikuleo.
Dude, they call them Tala Tonga.
Because he's the tallest Tonga.
Rules that's his name. It rules that they went with that. The GOAT, Tongaloa, is back. I'm so excited for... Did you see Solo's promo after on the post show?
4 words.
Yeah. One word for the stop. Dude, he rules.
I've said it. Once they let Solo be that guy, just have the comedy edge. Be a little stupid, be a little silly. That was it. That was the beginning of Solo Sikoa. Never leaving the midcard, but having the best midcard run in existence.
The matches or whatever, it ain't great, but he's fantastic as a character. And now you got Tala Tonga, you got JC Tonga, and you got Tongaloa, and Tama Tonga is going to be back sooner than later, hopefully. Like, now he's got some insulation around him. It's going to get... And this is the problem with WWE's main event style with all these run-ins. You literally just did this in the solo match, like 2 matches beforehand. So if you're going to do all of this in the solo match, you can't then do it in the main event. Or if you're going to do all this in the main event, you can't then do it in the solo match. Because that's when it just becomes, it's overkill on there. It's like, we just saw this. We literally just saw this. You got to pick one or the other. You can't do both. But they're going to keep doing it in the solo match, so don't do it in the main event. Or don't put the solo match on there and then do it in the main event. But that's what really burns people out. Maybe I'm speaking too much for myself, but I represent the masses. Like that's what burns people out, though, is we just saw this, all this run-in stuff. Wasn't on the same level because you didn't hit the entrance music for everybody, but it was still 3 run-ins in that solo match. You had JC, you had Tala, and you had Tonga. 3 run-ins. And then the main event, you did 3 run-ins. You had Seth's group, Penta, and Sami. So stop it. Just do one or the other. Don't do both.
Did I miss something on Friday where they turned the U.S. Championship match into no disqualification or some sort of stipulation?
No, they hid the referee.
He was right there. He saw Tala Tonga. He saw Hikuleo pull Jacob Fatu out of, like, he saw this shit and he didn't do anything. This is why I was watching. I was like, is no one, I didn't see anyone point it out. Maybe they did. I don't know. But like, I'm looking on socials. I'm like, did nobody point this out at the time? Did nobody like point out that this should have been a disqualification and should have ended? What are we doing here? I get it. Referee's discretion. But like, Tonga got involved physically with Jacob Fatu. So did the others. They all got in there. Like, it wasn't like a bloodline match. Like, it wasn't it wasn't bloodline rules officially. What was this?
No, the ref wasn't there. The ref was out.
The referee wasn't out.
Yes, he was. I'm literally watching this video, Joel.
I was watching it too. I saw Tala Tonga was the referee was not knocked out. I could have sworn
the referee is not there. There was no count. Jacob pins Solo, but the referee does not count. The referee was out. I'm pretty
referee no distracted with JC, but he's still.
He didn't see it.
Something weird.
He did not see it. There's no evidence that the referee saw this.
I'm gonna go back and watch this, but I could have sworn. I believe
I'm
you.
Literally watching it, Joel.
Yeah, but your eyes lie to you all the time.
I'm literally watching.
You don't wear your glasses as much as you should. I know you. I know you.
I mean, I do wear contacts, so.
Well, maybe you're not wearing them today. You love to lie.
I'm wearing my contacts.
No, I don't trust it. Yeah, I couldn't see them. They're all those black hoodies.
Yeah, the referee's not there. I was about to say, I didn't think the referee was there. I thought that he was out or distracted. Like, I thought they actually did well in playing the referee distractions and making the run-ins make sense. It's just, for this match, it was fine. It was the first time they did it. It's like, oh, cool, here's all the run-ins. And then they tried to do it again in the main event, which, again, referees were down and out. But it's like, all right, I just saw this 2 matches ago with all these run-ins. Stop it.
More referees need to be at ringside for all these matches. There should always be a secondary ref. Always. Just right there.
Yeah, that's fair.
None of that having to run down the 25-mile rampway.
Bless Charles Robinson. He took a hell of a bump.
Well, I know he was excited for that one. Yeah. That man will do anything for wrestling. Anything to not be at home is basically the Charles Robinson mantra. 60 years old, this man doesn't give a shit. Gives his body to the whole business. My God. Speaking of which, happy birthday, Cody. It's your birthday today. Cody Rhodes' birthday.
Cares.
Oh, well, Steven Jensen will care. He's probably having a big parade. Probably decorated Cody Rhodes style bedroom, something. I don't know. Sami Zayn defeats Carrie Cross. Too many back bumps, man. They did too many back bumps in this match. I didn't like it.
Okay.
All I wanted for this match was what we talked about on Friday, where they do the whole match without taking a bump, and it all builds to the finish with a scoop slam. Carrying Cross sells it. 1, 2, 3. Should have been it. But instead, Sami Zayn and Carrying Cross have a good match. They did what I told you. They did between 12 and 15. They did about 13 minutes. So second longest match on the card. This was fine. Sami Zayn gets a spotlight victory in a place where he's heavily cheered. And Carrying Cross was also heavily cheered because people like him. It was fine. It's a good match.
Yeah. It was a passable match. Again, I don't know what it means for Carrying Cross. We will see if it was a here damn match. Thanks for getting over. And we appreciate your work. Here's your PLE match. And now you're back on main event. Or if it's something sustainable. Because Sammy's already in a program. Sammy's moving on. Sammy's teaming with Penta tonight. We will see if Carrying Cross actually gets something out of this, or if it was just, you got your match. Thanks.
Well, our pal Adam Barnard has Carrying Cross on his show tomorrow on Foundation Radio, so go check that out. Give him a plug. We love Adam on the show. Maybe we'll ask Adam, hey, did you ask him about taking back bumps? I talked about this on Friday, and it seems like people have realized what Wade's reporting was pointing to. So we're good now. Cross is fine. Everyone's fine. We can all go back to just dunking on other things people say. You can go back to pointing to doing the Adam Cole promo. You can go back to posting that and be like, this is where it all ended for Carrying Cross, and we'll all just keep moving on. Oh my goodness. Is there anything else from this pay-per-view, from this PLE? We didn't really talk about the street fight, but it was very well done between Rodriguez and Ripley.
I mean, the biggest news, Slim Jims.
I told you they're not halal. They are haram. They didn't have when they did.
They had no Slim Jim tables.
I told y'all. It was Friday when the Fightful post came out that like on our socials as we're following along with the show, no logos on the Slim Jim table. I was just like, they're haram. People were, it was perfect. I told y'all. Tried to tell you. Yeah, that was the big news. No other advertisements, just big Riyadh season, the big CM Punk welcome sign right on the top of the mat. That was it. That was whatever. Slim Jims. Shit was so corny. I loved it. Wonder what else could they have done? They could have had Dude Wipes. I don't know why Dude Wipes didn't sponsor this.
Are they halal?
I mean, they're halal. They're fine. It's not. You don't eat.
Okay.
I think it was also they just weren't going to have the Saudis paid $55 million to put their logo all over the shit and nobody else. This is their own. Like, they paid in full for the show. They didn't pay for a match. They didn't pay for a one time. They paid more than anyone else pays for the stupid sponsorship to sports wash their way through the show. They paid for it. So no one else is going to get it but them. It's just them, their product, their bullshit. And CM Punk apologizing. Yeah, they set up a table and didn't use it though. That's what they should have done. They should have had the Slim Jim table set up and then never used it. That should have been the setup for the street fight. They tease going through the Slim Jim table, but they never do it. And then at the end, everyone's like, they didn't go through it. And then that's it. Rhea Ripley gets the win by not going through a table. Did they pay for the apology? Well, that remains to be seen. I have my theories. I pointed them out at the top of the show. I'm not alone. Can't confirm. No one's denied. No one's confirmed. It just is an idea out in the ethos.
I don't know if it's true or not. I do wonder, because they knew that they were doing that amazing rap segment and he wasn't going to be able to do like some type of apology speech there. Did they? Because apparently they played it during Smackdown, like in the building, not on the show.
They played it on Champions, didn't they? Like they played it as like an earlier this week. I feel like they did. Maybe I'm wrong, but could have sworn I saw it. Regardless,
all right, I didn't see it if they did, so or I don't remember it. Yeah, but apparently they played it in the building on Friday. Yeah, I didn't watch SmackDown on the USA Network feed, and they didn't show it on the Netflix feed. But I do wonder if like they decided to do it there because they knew on SmackDown it wasn't going to be a straightforward CM Punk promo where he could say something like that. You know, I guess he could have worked it into his rap in some way.
This is the thing about the apology. This is why my antennas are up. You had him do the apology. That's fine. But then you played it to the audience to get their reaction, to get them feeling a certain, like you use that as influence in your story or in your presentation. You didn't just let it go. That's a red flag for me. It became part of everything. Bargov asking, "Do you think the guy was a plant?" And I can't tell you he was. I can't tell you he wasn't. Again, my red flag sticks out that he was at the front of that event. That's fine. That can happen. You get there early enough, big fan, you want to be at the front, sure. Being at the front of the Night of Champions show and he goes over and gives you a big hug, "Hey, how you doing?" Again, that feels too much to me. That's a bigger crowd than the kickoff show. Once is a coincidence. Twice is tempting fate. And I cannot confirm, has not been denied, don't know. Just a feeling that I have. Just felt a certain way. Right. Sorry, I did it without doing it. Yeah, sorry.
Tomorrow night, John, I'm going to walk you like a doggy. 6 years ago, I tweeted, "Suck a blood money covered dick. I'm sorry, Saudi."
Oh, that was the bar?
That was the bar. Yeah, that's how I should have apologized.
Sorry, I meant to get this out here. So, like Zeno saying, he might have been an influencer. He might have been, but that doesn't mean that person wasn't asked to do something. There's just something. It just looked a certain way. Again, can't confirm, can't deny it. No one. It is what it is. Disrespecting a legend like Muhammad. on Friday when it's like, wait, he's saying sorry to Muhammad in front of God, Jesus, and Muhammad. I apologize. It did, yeah, like Henry's saying, it did look weird. So I know I'm not the only one. I know other people have made the same connection. Again, putting him at the front of the front of the Night of Champions at ringside. Just did it again. It's like, huh? And then later on, you got Paul Levesque being like, he's grown, he's shown, he's done a lot. And I'm just like, shut the fuck. No, he hasn't. Like, what are we doing? Oh man, I understand. We talked about this multiple times. He's CM Punk. He is going to do what's best for CM Punk, and nobody should ever put all of your beliefs or any of your feelings towards anything other than wrestling on a wrestler and what they believe in or what they support. Don't put all your eggs in that basket. The fact that he goes to Saudi and then goes to Pittsburgh and takes part in this demonstration, like, it shows he's made it abundantly clear that he supports LGBTQ rights. He wants to see people live freely and be who they are. He supports trans rights. He's been out there. It's fine. He goes to Saudi because now it's stuck with his job. People do shit with their. This is the one thing that made me laugh. It's like, oh, this guy's such a sellout. I hate him so much. He should, he's such a piece of shit. Da, da, da. Thank you for saying that, Target employee number 875. Like, what are you gonna do? This is I know, and people are gonna be like, well, they make so much more money than a Target employee. I get it, but people still need to live and set up whatever their future is. I'm not gonna make any excuses for anybody at this point. He went, he did it, came back, went to whatever demonstration he did because this is what he wanted to do. This is what he believed in. Work did one thing, he did another. It is what it is. He had a shit weekend, presentationally speaking. From Friday, whatever that was, to Saturday in that match, whatever that match was, and having his boss come out and praise him in effect to make him look better, sure. And then all the way back to the beginning of the weekend where he went out and did the apology bit. He just is what it is. He was always going to go. He's definitely going to be going for Royal Rumble in January. Just is what it is. And people will, assess how they feel about him moving forward. And they should all stop assessing how they feel about wrestlers forever, because wrestlers are not the people to put all of your moral, your moral compass behind.
Okay. I'm with you.
I know. I'll get off my soapbox.
Fine. Why is there an echo? Do you hear an echo?
No.
Oh, okay.
Is it you?
It might have been my headphones.
No. Are you wearing your headphones? Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
Put your hat on so you don't mess up your hair.
My hair is just covering it.
That's fine. That's what it should do. I did hear Jeremy twice, he says. Okay. We were getting the echo. Now it's gone. Okay, so there was an echo, but apparently it's back to normal. But somebody...
froze.
Oh, that's fine. They were saying there was an echo, but then it went away.
Yeah,
Maybe somebody in the other room was listening.
No, I just think it was my headphones were screwing up for some reason. I don't know.
Yeah, Louis knows what to do. Stick to musicians. Trust their politics and their morals. And don't let them drive over a bridge in Chicago.
I've said it. Don't have your morals guided by anybody but yourself. Make your own decisions and form your own opinions on this stuff. That's it.
Exactly. That's all. Anyway. Julia won the U.S. Championship. That was also something that happened this weekend.
Yeah.
Yep. Good for her. I'm glad she won that title. Well deserved.
I mean, I guess.
Man, I don't know. We're just going to have a rematch at Evolution anyway. Who cares?
People get mad at short title reigns. It's like, not every title reign needs to be a year-long title reign. It's okay if there is a 1 month title reign. Like I thought Zelina Vega defeating Chelsea Green made sense for the story, and I think Zelina Vega not having the title very long makes sense as well. Julia is someone they want to focus and build around. So putting the title on her is a good choice. Zelina Vega, she's fine. It seems pretty clear they just don't have any top tier plans for her. And like that's okay. She got a title run. It was a cool moment. But she's just someone you slot into the mid card. And like that's okay. You need those people. Can you maybe move her up in certain aspects and do a little bit more? Sure. But the reaction doesn't always dictate that with her. And that's not totally her fault. Because she doesn't get mic time. I don't know who Zelina Vega is as a character outside of she likes doing cosplay stuff. Remember they tried to run that like Kill Bill style vignette for her? Like that anime. You don't remember this? Oh, I do.
Nope.
Okay, this was a thing. I promise everybody, this was a thing. But then they give her a new theme every week, and so no one can tell what she's out there. Not having mic time, not having segments like that to explain motivations and purpose and mission statements and goals. Like it doesn't help. She gets the reactions that she gets, and I understand why they're like, we want to try to focus on, like, they clearly they want to do something with Julia, and they're gonna do something with Julia. I assume they'll do a rematch. Maybe we'll see if anything else comes of it, but Zelina Vega is probably just gonna be slotted in certain matches and then not used otherwise.
Nothing's really changed with Zelina. You know, put her with the LWO, and then that was it. And then she broke away from the LWO, and that was it. Now she's just kind of cosplayer who wants to win titles, and her biggest pop came when they went to Puerto Rico, and she had the great gear in the women's title match. But it's just, I don't think it comes down to, someone doesn't like this person because of their background or anything like that. I think it really just comes down to where she's slotted and how long she's been in the business. Like, she worked in TNA, for Christ's sake. Like, I'm not talking recently. I'm talking TNA before it became Impact. And she was working for WWE during the pandemic. Like, she worked with Andrade. Like, the stuff with Andrade was probably her best work when she was a manager for him. I'm not saying you put them back together, but like that was her ceiling, and that's not a bad ceiling. She was a great manager. She wanted to wrestle more. They said, okay, go out and wrestle more.
I don't think that's her ceiling.
Why can't that be her ceiling? You can get better, but I can't tell you that her wrestling has been something I'm going to write home about and say was amazing. I'm going to tell you that I think that her job beyond the microphone talking for other wrestlers, I don't care gender-wise. She could be managing Chelsea Green. I don't care who she. I think that she's good on the microphone when she has a person to put out there for. But I don't think her wrestling has ever been fantastic. So for me, like, her ceiling has been excellent manager.
All right, but you just said it. She's good on the microphone. You said that it's for other people, but we didn't get a chance to see her talk for herself. I think that's where she was failed on this run, is she didn't get a chance to let people know who she is a little bit. And maybe if they'd given her something like that, we could have got a little bit more out of things. But they didn't.
Sure. It's entirely possible. I'm not going to take away the fact that, she could have been given more mic time, and maybe that would have done something for her. I can't tell you that whatever she was doing, leading up to, a lot of it was her saying, I deserve this, I want this, this is my story. And her home, like her real life story was just, I don't know if it was, I think it connected with a lot of people. I don't know what the character was, like you were talking about. There was no time for her to flesh out a character through my work. And sometimes she got a good zing in, and sometimes she had a heart-wrenching story about her dad. who passed away in 9/11, and like that was a big deal. So they didn't give her a shot, but at the same time, I don't think in ring was giving them much reason to give her that shot. You know what I'm saying? Again, like I feel bad speaking poorly about somebody in the ring because I can't do what they do, but I don't know what their feeling was about her pushing her further than what she's been pushed to do.
I think she should have gotten a little bit more on the mic, but they saw her as a transitional champion to get the title on Julia, and so that's how they used her.
Yeah, and now Julia is the champion. Again, I'm sure that Zelina will be given other opportunities to get in the ring and work. I'm not saying other opportunities to be the champion. I'm saying, and again, that's up to how she performs and what they want to do booking wise. Again, I wouldn't be surprised if they do a triple threaded evolution with those three women, the first three champs, and that's it. Easy peasy. Move on from there. The booking of the women's mid-card division was exactly as expected when they announced those titles. Very much a here damn, and we're just not going to do much with it until for Lyra's sake, till Becky comes back, which was frustrating because Lyra has so much upside, and she was able to find a big upside working with Becky. But we'll see where that story kind of leads Lyra as that continues. But the Intercontinental Championship should not be the championship that someone else holds because they used to be the women's world champion. That's not a dig at Becky. You're trying to build the prestige of a title, but you got to find ways to balance out the rest of your division and not just keep it to the same three. That's all. I don't think there was anything else really from SmackDown worth getting into. The DQ tag match was exactly as you mentioned.
Yeah, saw that one coming. Big
shocker. Got to do it once. Got to do it once.
Got to do the DQ. That sucked.
That's fine. Apparently, Maria Kanellis and Mike Bennett announced that they're expecting their third child, a champion, if you will. So congratulations to them. She put that out on Instagram this morning. Good for them. We've been keeping a secret, she starts it. So good for you, Maria. You got the engagement bait in full force. But congratulations. Looking forward to that. Some good news out of the Kanellis camp. Sweet. What else? What else was going on this weekend? Is there anything else that from WWE world that really mattered? There was no Collision to talk about. That was Thursday. Wasn't much else.
Yeah, the Phoenix and Andrade against DIY match was really good.
Yes. Phoenix and Andrade felt like a very last minute put together type of thing.
A little bit, yeah, but it still produced a good match. I don't fully love throwing together tag teams beating well-established tag teams. I usually hate that trope, and so I didn't love it here either. But the match was good, so some parts of that can be forgiven.
Yeah. And DIY is DIY. I look forward to when they finally get their opportunity to shine and be a good team again that wins proper matches. Give them those titles back. Let them have it for 3 years. That's right, we're back. King Potato saying, happy to report I watched no wrestling this weekend because we celebrated my sister's wedding. Well, congratulations to your sister. I hope the wedding was good, and I hope no one was put through a Slim Jim table.
I hope somebody was put through a Slim Jim table. That sounds like a fun wedding.
That's true. We do have to make up for it.
Yeah. Hope the wedding's good. King Potato, hope you had a good weekend.
Oh, I think it's worth mentioning. Apparently, Tala Tonga, his real name, his real first name is Taula, Taula.
Okay.
So I guess Tala is not too far from his last name, or from his first name, I should say. I'm not going to try to. Should I try to do this last name? Tala Koloamatangi. That wasn't so bad.
That was an attempt, yeah. That was an attempt.
No Slim Jim tables were hurt in the making of this wedding. Was it a big wedding? That's a big question. Was it a big wedding? Mine was very small. By plan. I wanted it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, there wasn't really much else that happened this weekend in wrestling. It was just those two shows. And there was stuff on the indies. And MLW happened on Thursday, so we already talked about Maxwell Jacob Friedman and his appearance there. Something happening. 580
people.
The hell is this?
Jesus.
That's too many people at a wedding. King Potato, who are you?
That's way too many people.
That's way too many. Oh, Zeno, I was pointing out the New Japan.
Big moment. It didn't air.
Not here. Did it air in Japan? It was a TV event for TV Asahi.
Maybe, but yeah, it didn't air on like New Japan World or anything.
Awful.
SP3 and I'll probably talk about that tomorrow.
Yes, absolutely. But Zack Sabre Jr. is the new IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. My God.
Defeating Hiroki a Middle Eastern wedding. All right, yeah.
I get it. Yeah. I had a cousin, had an Iranian cousin. They did it big. Belly dancers and all at a wedding.
Yeah,
they did it.
My friend like live streamed his. He got married in India, and he like live streamed his, so everybody in America could watch it. Those things are outrageous. Like, bless that. I can't imagine the planning that goes into them.
Remind me to tell you offline about what my distant cousin did for his wedding.
Why can't you say it on air?
I'm not gonna do that right now.
Think of the content, Joel. Who cares? Think of the content.
Nope. Don't want to get into that conversation.
All right.
Yeah, people. TK making in New Japan title changes. That's what's going on. Making Zack Sabre Jr. pin Hiroki Goto. Although New Japan said he's off the card for the next little bit because he injured his elbow. They say in the match with Zack. So we'll see if Goto is legitimately injured and they had to do the title change and this was the moment. Then makes sense. But yeah, that's where we're sitting right now. Zack Sabre Jr. conquered the beast, the resurgence of New Japan. It's been transferred back to TMDK.
And not a big fan of this title change. Goto's run was going really well, and going back to Zack feels like, all right. Yeah, I got no issue with Zack. He had a good run too, but Goto was actually the fact that he finally won it when no one thought he was going to win it. He's had great matches since then, and then you do it on a show that people couldn't watch. Maybe Goto is the elbow. He's a bigger injury than just missing one show, and so they felt like they needed to get the title off of him. I guess we'll see if they announce he's going to miss more shows, but if he's just going to miss the one show and like the injury did happen in the match, then it just feels like this was always the plan.
Yeah, I know you and SP3 will break it down a little further tomorrow because that's more an SP3 gimmick than it is mine right now. But yeah, it's worth mentioning that was taking the wrestling world by storm yesterday in the early mornings. Speaking of which, on the other side of the world, Butterbean put out a challenge to Jake Paul. And they immediately tweeted out Web Redemption with the cage match score of his match with Minoru Suzuki from this past April. Oh, Butterbean. I understand. Butterbean. I get it. That's money. Butterbean, come on. Jake, come on. Don't do it.
He's going to take this fight. That's going to be the fight.
Absolutely. That's a freak fight to end all freak fights. They'll do it in the 3-sided Triller ring too. Remember that?
I didn't watch this Jake Paul fight. I don't care because they got me with the Tyson thing, and not got me in like I thought it was going to be a competitive fight. Like, it's Mike Tyson. I don't care about Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. I didn't think it was going to be a competitive fight. I watched Ilya Taporia smoke my guy Charles Oliveira. Taporia's a beast, man. Just flattened Oliveira, flattened Max Holloway, flattened Volkanovski. That's a run right there to beat those three guys. Like, that's a run. So that was a good fight. It didn't last long, but it was a good fight for as long that it did last.
Can't believe Butterbean's gonna get another payday. Cage match gonna rip that thing apart.
Yeah, it's gonna be a cage match. It's gonna be a fight. It's not gonna be.
It's not a wrestling match, I know.
Yeah.
What's the other equivalent of that? What is the boxing equivalent of cage match?
don't know if they have one of those, like Box Rec, maybe. I don't know.
Nobody does like not a star rating, but nobody does like a rating scale other than the actual people rating the boxing match live and in person.
No, you can't like rate a boxing. I guess you can, but and there's no like MMA star ratings or boxing star ratings.
Zeno Hour saying put it in the Tokyo Dome. That's actually a good idea. Jake Paul, Butterbean, battle in the dome. It's better than watching slap fight. Speaking of domes being battled for. Not talking about that. Don't want to talk about that. Monday Night Raw tonight, live on Netflix.
Man, I watched some of that.
Bitch, I did not. I see one of those and I'm like, I like my brain. These people don't. I don't want to even think about what these people think about because they can't think. They got no thoughts left.
As awful as it is, if they're gonna go out there and do it and it's sanctioned in some way, you know what? For my own, it's like a car crash, right? Like it's like, what's happening here? One dude got completely friggin' like just wrecked. He got double CTE. He got slapped and he went out, and then his head hit on the little canvas thing that they have. Not canvas, but the little stand that they have. And then he was out of it. That's the dumbest sport in the world. Honestly.
And it shouldn't exist. And I understand the rubbernecking you mentioned, but like that doesn't make it okay because now they're selling tickets to rubberneck. Like they're profiting off of these people just obliterating their brains.
Oh.
Which you can argue is all sport. I get it, but this one is blatantly doing it. And you can argue boxing the same, but it's not because boxing, at least there are gloves. I get that you're still trying to hit the head, but like you still do body shots in boxing. Like this is why it's never going to be for me. This is very openly and very blatantly trying to cause long-term physical harm to a person. And that's not what sport is about. But for some reason, this has become an okay thing in people's mind because it's a freak show. And because it's a freak show, people want to go see it because it makes them feel better about themselves and whatever they're doing. And these other people who are competing for what, $10,000? Jesus Christ, $10,000 won't even buy the surgery that you're going to need to repair your brain after all this shit. Like, what are we doing? Someone says this is going to be your big, not in the chat, but I mean, like somebody is saying this is going to be your big moment, your big exposure. Bitch, you're not going to remember any of it because your brain's going to be mush. What are we doing? What are we doing here?
You have a better chance today.
You have a better chance of surviving the car crash long term than you do while getting slapped like that. It's just put it away, man. Put it away. Pack it up. Don't do this. This is shit. And if this is what Dana White thinks is where sport is going, pack his ass all the way up. Should have been for other reasons years ago.
This is what Dana White does, man. He doesn't care about UFC anymore. I'm not saying that as like he's just forgotten about it, but now he's promoting boxing because he's always wanted to promote boxing. And slap fight was a thing that he could latch on to and like, oh, now I can promote this because people are watching it. He lies about the numbers, which is hilarious. He blocked me a long time ago because I called him out on all his lies, but he doesn't care about UFC anymore because it's just so like commercialized and they can't do big fights. Like John Jones retired because they couldn't do the Jones and Aspinall fight. We never got GSP and Silva. We never got Jones and Silva. We never got Fedor. Like they missed on so many big fights that you would think for a guy who has the promoter reputation that he has, you would think like they actually did all of these big fights, and they didn't. Like they actually left a lot of money on the table in UFC because they couldn't put together some of the biggest fights. They did have big fights, but they couldn't put together some of the biggest fights. Like I loved UFC back in the day. I covered UFC back in the day, but then it just became too many events and too many guys who didn't really stand out and everybody just became so the same that we just got so many decisions from everything. It's like, all right, another decision fight. Like the action just became less in these fights, and it just stopped becoming fun and worthwhile to pay attention to. And then it's they're in bed with people that I don't believe in, and people that I don't want to be supporting and promoting in that way. And because I don't have to cover it like I do WWE and wrestling, I choose not to watch a lot of the UFC. The slap fight stuff. You know what it is Dana just likes the action of it. And this is the problem with the UFC is like it's become so actionless over the years. Like everyone loves the knockout. And that's what Dana, always talked about. Like, oh, the knockout. Like we want guys who are going to go out there and get exciting fights and go for the knockout and everything. And that's what slap fight is. It's an automatic KO. And that's why he loves it. Because that's what he loves about the UFC. That's why he wants to be in boxing so much. It's because he loves hits to the head and cool looking knockouts. He didn't care about the submissions and the grappling and all that stuff. If something cool happens, he'll be like, oh yeah, that was a cool submission. But he doesn't want to see that. He wants to see two guys just go out there and punch each other in the face.
Yeah, it's fight porn.
And that's what slap fight is you get a very quick knockout. Like it's the most immediate knockout ever. What's the easiest way to knock somebody out? Put your hands behind your back and let you give him an unabated blow to the side of the head. You'll get a quick knockout that way. And then if it's not a knockout, it's like, oh, look how tough this person is. Because he loves that too. He loves this toughness stuff. So that's why I love slap fight. That's why he loves it.
Garbage. Just complete garbage. And like, you know what? This is the marketing brain. I mean, it's like, yeah, you put that shit on TikTok. Guess what? It's going to get billions of views because it's so quick to do. It's a slap to the face. Oh, and it's like, here's Ronda Rousey reacting to this person getting rocked by a fist. Like, it's just, I hate it, man. I hate it. I hate it. There's no other way. I think it's absolutely asinine. I think it's the dumbest shit in the world. Anyway, Monday Night Raw from the PPG Paints Arena in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
You got to make a slap fight thumbnail, Joel. Now, hope you know that.
Is this going to be the clip of the week?
This is the clip. Yeah, this is the clip because,
it's going to be topical. It's true. Tag team championships are on the line. The New Day face the Judgment Day in a match we've never ever seen before. JD McDonough and Balor.
Why are we doing two heel teams here? What are we doing with this?
You got to thank God for the New Day, Jeremy. If you don't thank God for the New Day, then JD McBighead might come in, take that title away from you.
I love New Day. I wish they would actually do something with this reign. Like, why don't they have any babyface teams like stepping to them? Like, it just sucks. It just sucks. I hope Grayson Waller joins the New Day, though. I think that'd be fun. They've only been teasing a Waller in Theory split for about 8.5 years now. So at some point, they might actually do it.
You know it's going to be Theory joining the New Day just for the heat.
That would suck. That would suck.
Oh, they're absolutely going to do it.
Waller would be amazing with the New Day. But
Waller might upstage the New Day. That's the problem. Because he's so light.
I mean, yes, but Kofi and Woods are so good that that would actually be a really fun trio. But they're not doing it. Like, they have no tag teams in this division. They're doing a heel. Like, they're doing a heel tag team, Balor and JD, against another heel tag team because they have no other tag teams. Like, you don't have a single babyface tag team you could throw together for this. It's terrible.
Who would win battle rapping? CM Punk or Grayson Waller?
Nope. No, Waller would smoke him.
I don't know.
No, Waller would smoke him. Waller would actually, put together some clever stuff. Like Punk, I feel like that was his best shot, and
good for him. He shot blanks. Sheamus versus Rusev is a match that's going on tonight.
That'll be fun.
That'll be fun. Yes, Rusev will beat Sheamus. Natty will say, "Sheamus, you're still a goat. You tried your best. I'll see you next week." Gosh, dolly, gosh darn. Penta and Sami Zayn take on Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker after everything that happened at Night of Champions on Saturday. It should be fine. Don't really know what to expect other than a bunch of run-ins and a DQ finish.
Yeah, this will probably be your DQ finish of the night because they gotta have a DQ finish.
Oh, Kai pointing out time for Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne to reform again for some reason. I saw them wrestle on Main Event the night after WrestleMania at the T-Mobile Center. That was great. And then they never saw them again.
Yeah.
New Catch Republic.
That theme sucks too.
More like Who Catch Republic, right? Am I right? Sheamus should just recruit them. Pete Dunne cut his hair. That's why they're not putting him back on TV. Cut off that manly bun that he had.
Yeah.
He's got short hair. Looks good though. Rhea Ripley kicks off the show. That should be entertaining. I'm sure she's going to stake her claim for the women's championship. Gunther's going to appear, and he's going to say, "Goldberg, I'm going to mess you up." And then maybe Goldberg will appear, because what else do you do in Pittsburgh? You just show up. And then Nick Aldis and Adam Pearce have an announcement concerning Evolution. No, not that it's going to be canceled. Probably going to announce what's going to go on with the tag titles. Well, I don't know. People are like, it's a huge announcement. It's like, we're canceling Evolution.
I don't think they're going to cancel it.
No, they'll probably announce what's going to happen with the titles, the women's tag titles, and maybe even the other women's titles. Who knows?
Okay.
And that is Monday Night Raw. 6 p.m. tonight, I should say. 6 p.m. on Netflix. Go watch it or don't. Sit down with your supper on your TV trays. Enjoy your Hungry Man meals, if you remember what those are.
Booker T's got a sponsorship with them.
Does he actually?
Yeah.
Oh, Christ, of course he does.
I don't know if it still exists, but back in the day when he was running the Angle and doing this deal with them, he would get them all the time.
When you remember Can You Dig It, the song, and it would open them up, it's Booker Man, y'all. It's a Hungry Man, y'all. Can you dig it? Goldberg's not scheduled to appear. Don't think that's changed. Hey, all he's got to do is get in his Goldberg mobile and he can be there as fast as you want. The Goldberg mobile is a monster truck, for the record.
Okay.
I mean, he's got 20 other vehicles it could be, but for some reason it's always the monster truck. His wife is like, "Bill, honey, you're going to the grocery store. You don't need to take the monster truck." He's like, "I'm going to do whatever I want because I'm a superhero for these kids."
Was that? Oh, who was that?
Technically, that was Goldberg.
That was Goldberg?
In his own little way.
Ooh.
Honey,
it felt like you were trying to it felt like you were trying to go like Moxley, but
no, Moxley's
not a good Moxley.
Renee, what are we doing for dinner tonight?
That Goldberg was rough.
That's what you think. Go listen to Goldberg do an interview.
I listen to plenty of Goldberg interviews. Are you kidding me?
Listen to Goldberg with Michael Cole when he gets all upset. Go listen to Goldberg when he came back to challenge at Saturday night's main event. That's what you need. That was one of the influence.
Yeah, that Goldberg was a little rough, everybody, right?
What did I tell you? You either do it well or you do it absolutely the worst.
You definitely got the second half of that correct.
I know. That's how you get over in this business, Jeremy.
Yeah.
Luis just learned about the XP crowns. Well, that ends today for this month. I can't give a reason.
Today's the last day. Should we do the announcement today?
Yeah, we can do it live on the air. We're done. Show's over, baby.
Well, let's see who.
Don't spam the chat. It's not going to get you to win, okay?
Let's see what today's ratings shake out to be, and then we will announce the winner.
I hope CM Punk wins. He deserves a bit of a win after the last one.
I don't think CM Punk is going to win. All right, we have a winner.
Oh, sorry. Breaking news. Survivor Series tickets go on sale Friday, July 11th, and it is officially Survivor Series War Games, San Diego.
No. Okay.
because original branding did not include War Games, but no, War Games is back. The branding is back.
All right. Are you ready for the winner?
I am so excited. Luis, I will ban you for making fun of that Goldberg impression. It was perfect. If you say it was bad again, I'm going to say it was anti-Semitic, but I won't do that because that's mean.
Wow.
But what I do?
The winner of the Brian Alvarez cameo is Zeno Hour.
Let's go.
Zeno Hour is one. I didn't keep up with like who finished in the top enough, but he was actually the top commenter today for today's episode, and that helped. It helped put him over the top. It was very close between him and Grays. Zeno Hour finished with 26 points, and Grays finished with 22 points. Zeno Hour got 3 points today for finishing at the top. So he was still going to win if they both finished out, but Grays could have passed him with a stronger showing today. So there he goes. Zeno Hour. I don't even know like what this is gonna constitute. Like, do you want to type something for Brian to read? Do you want us to type something for Brian?
Oh no, it should be
read?
us. It should be us. It's
Okay.
us congratulating Zeno Hour, and Brian is merely a vessel through which we are showing that appreciation and congratulations.
All right.
I think the whole point here is that Zeno and the chat do not know what Brian's going to say, but we kind of know.
I don't know what Brian's going to say.
We don't know word for word, but like we'll give him the notes. It'll be just like an Attitude Era promo. We'll give him the bullet points, and he'll just knock it out of the park, baby.
I'm gonna make Brian Alvarez say "jacking off" with Jack Perry.
He might not do it just because he'll be like, you'll use it against me. Like, yes, and?
All right, we'll figure something. Oh, his shoot name's Brian Zeno Alvarez.
Oh, that's even better. Don't tell Alvarez.
We're not gonna.
It'll confuse him.
We're just gonna do Zeno Hour. That's what it's gonna be. So
yeah, we'll have to leave a pronunciation for Brian. You might call him X Zeno Hour or some shit.
Yeah, that's true. My wife says, "Don't make Brian Alvarez commit light sexual harassment."
She's got a point. She's got a good point, Sting.
All right, we will get a Brian Alvarez cameo. I don't know how long it takes him to do these cameos, so whenever it shows up, it shows up. But I'll submit this in the coming days of what Brian will say to you for this cameo. And remember, folks, tomorrow starts anew. So comments, leave super chats, get all your XP points, and you too can win a cameo from Brian Alvarez.
And who knows, maybe we'll get the Brian Alvarez cameo and it'll be so damn good that everyone's going to be excited to do it.
Yeah,
to get involved in this.
Possible.
Tell your friends. This is what this show is, Monday to Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern. We go live and we do exactly what you just saw. Next Monday, we're main channel, by the way. So have fun with that. Yeah, it's back, baby.
There's no shows this weekend, is there? No major shows, right?
Oh crap! There is nothing. I think we saw that on the calendar. We were like, "Whoa, what are we gonna do? Talk about SmackDown for 3 hours?" I don't think
it's a 2-hour SmackDown too.
So. Oh, that's right. So we're losing content. Oh no! Maybe I'll take that day off. Where are they that week? Oh, and it's Collision 200. So at least, or it's Collision 100, I should say. So at least like you'll have that. Hopefully, Collision 100 is something.
We'll have content, you know.
Oh, there's always content. We'll talk about Power Slap.
LeBron James will be traded by this point next week. So
there you go.
Yeah.
Oh, If you want to go to the TNA Mega on sale, or the Baltimore, Minneapolis, or Edmonton shows, the pre-sale code is RING, RING, as in the thing they need to rent to put on their shows. Sorry.
What?
What? They do it. It's true. The thing Jeremy wore to cut that rap for y'all this morning. Oh, and it's a taped 2-hour Smackdown too on. Oh,
Yeah,
it's good.
that's tonight. It's taping tonight.
Yep. Yeah. Well, that should be fun. But that's next week. The rest of this week, there's plenty to talk about. Dynamite 300 is this week. TNA's got a show. Raw's tonight at 6 p.m.
Does TNA have a pay-per-view this week?
No, there's nothing until Slammiversary in 3 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah, like
I thought
Alex and Kate aren't doing Alexis and Kate, Alex Cardoza and Kate are not doing a SmackDown post show because it's July 4th this week.
Cowardly.
So we'll take over on Monday next week and we'll do the review. Probably not. But also, it's July 1st, so tomorrow you'll be talking about NHL signings. Free agency starts.
Yeah, I don't know how much like the Avs are gonna do. Made a big trade at the draft. That was good.
Sen's already got Claude Giroux, so it's okay. They re-signed him.
Did he resign?
Yeah, he re-signed it was about $2 million. There's like a whole bunch of caveats there, where it's like if you play X amount of games,
like
you get this much. Yeah, a bunch of bonuses that were very funny to watch. But yeah, he did re-sign yesterday.
All right.
So, good stuff. I mean, listen, the Sens are building after a pretty solid season, so to have Claude back for a year is a big win for them. So good. Yeah. It's good news. All right, shall we get out of here?
I guess so.
Anything to plug?
Never.
Back again tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern, SP3. Jeremy, you're here. It'll be Canada Day, so I'll be out enjoying the fun in the sun. So for him, for me, leave a thumbs up on the way out. Comment on the video. How much do you hate Power Slap? Ladies, gentlemen, friends behind the binary, we'll see you in the next one. Cheers.